What up, Detroit? What up, country? What up, world? We're coming to you from the 6-hole studio, The Hook. My name is Keith Butler with my co-host, Jeffrey Lowe.
What up?
And our sports analyst, Leland Stein. What up, Stein?
Yo, yo.
Hey, we're glad to be back. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. We had a great one the last show. We're going to try and give you another good one today.
Yes.
So what are we talking about today, boys?
Well, you know, first, I just want to raise a glass to my main man, a very nice gentleman who I had the pleasure of having conversations. He's donated money to me and everything for my baseball program. Mr. Ray Page, this toast is for you, sir.
All right.
Okay. And then all the brothers and sisters who I love, who have gone and left us, this is for you. Oh,
before we go any further, I want to ask people
to subscribe
to subscribe to our show, The Hook.
Yes,
and to do that, you can subscribe for 99 cents a month, $4 a month, or $10 if you're feeling generous. But we'll just ask for 99 cents a month, and all you do is go to anchor.fm /Jeffrey-Low/subscribe.
Yes.
Again, that's anchor.fm /JEFFREY-LOWE/subscribe. 99 cents to help us stay on and have a little bit of fun and bring you guys some interesting entertainment.
It'll help the brothers eat too.
Anchor.
Help them out now.
Yep. Leland Stein, a Mackenzie Stag,
and a MSU Spartan.
And a Sparty.
Suffering right now.
A suffering Spartan.
A suffering Spartan?
I changed my name now to Suffering Spartan.
Oh, that's going to catch. Suffering Spartan.
You're not suffering.
I'm suffering.
Oh, all the Spartans are suffering right now, bro.
When brothers suffer like this, it's suffering.
Okay.
We were all in. You just don't know.
I know. I hear you.
We thought we had a 20-year guy here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I thought he was going to be there for a while.
Yeah.
But you know, your talents can't keep you where your character, can take you where your character can't keep you. Anyway, what's the topic, boys?
Well, hey, it's Coco Golf.
Well, that's one of the topics.
Yes.
But that little girl is bad.
You know what? She is, what I loved about that, number one, is her winning the U.S. Open.
Mm-hmm.
I love the family optics of it.
Yeah, that was really great to see her dad when she did her congratulations speech.
Yes.
And she put her dad out there.
Yes.
This is the first time I've ever seen him cry.
Yeah.
He was like, don't do that. But it was a beautiful shot to see him up there.
Yeah.
You could see the pride.
Oh, yeah.
This little 19-year-old girl went out there and just lit up the tennis world.
Mm-hmm.
I was glad to see her give Serena.
Yeah, I was about to say
credit.
that.
Oh, yeah.
And Venus.
And Venus.
Both of them.
Because they actually mirrored Richard Williams' methodology in terms of the way we're going to train them, and the way they're going to go to school, and the way they're going to be brought up. Mm-hmm. Because tennis, gymnastics, some of these sports, you got to give your kid away when they get about 12.
Yeah, pretty much.
12, 13, and you let them go off to somebody and be homeschooled and all that kind of stuff. You want to be great. They do it all the time now. It's just no joke.
Those foreign tennis players do it all.
Well, that's the way they do it in Europe.
From
period.
day one. From day one.
Because Europe doesn't have this university system that we have here in the U.S. In case y'all didn't know that, y'all don't mind me talking about that for a minute, right? Okay, I'll give you the best example. We were covering the 2012 Summer Olympics in London. And in the hotel, the media was staying in this particular hotel. There was a brother there, about 6'5", 275. He was working the front desk, right? So we there 3 weeks. We see him every day. So we started kicking it and talking and having fun. We said, bro, man, if you was in the U.S., you know what you be doing, don't you? He's like, yeah, I know what I'd be doing. I'd be playing football. He said, we don't have.
Said that?
He actually said it.
Oh.
They're high schools. Okay, there isn't those systems in Europe where it's all connected like America has done.
Okay.
The university system, where they play all the sports in high school, like football and basketball. They just start trying to play a little bit, but everything is club sports.
Okay.
Mostly in the other countries.
Mm-hmm.
You get in through clubs, not necessarily
and
through
you're
school.
compensated at a very young age, aren't you?
Well, they identify you and they'll send you off to academies.
Okay.
And things like that. It's kind of like what Major League Baseball is doing in South America.
Right.
With all those academies, they get these little kids, 13, 14. They ain't got to worry about school and all that stuff you got to do in the U.S.
Right.
They got to go to school, and there's going to be a lot more oversight and quality control.
All they got to do is go play.
Yeah, just play ball.
That's it.
And well, that's why you see what Major League Baseball is. Mm-hmm. But they can't do that same thing in the U.S. But my man over in Europe, they were like, we could basketball, all the sports that we play, we don't have these systems that America has set up. Starting from middle school all the way to high school. Mm-hmm. You can play any kind of sport.
But question then.
Yeah.
Recently, FIBA basketball, Germany won it. They won it. Now, and then the question was brought up, who are the real world champions?
Oh, you talking about brother from the track star?
I saw that.
Who was the track star who brother just won? God, he won the 100 and the 200.
Oh, it's Noah Lyles.
Yeah, Noah Lyles mentioned that.
Yeah.
He said, it's something about the NBA, some of the world champions. He said they don't play anybody.
No, well, first of all,
and I've always said, I kind of agree with him on that, in a sense. I don't mind you calling yourself the NBA champion, but until you start playing other countries, like
but there are
Olympics.
world players on NBA.
Well, the best
teams.
players in the world are from the NBA. Make no mistake about it.
No mistake about
But
it.
the bottom line
bottom
is they don't travel to London to play. They don't travel to Japan to play. So I mean, when you think of the world, let's be realistic. The world, you don't play anywhere but in the United States.
But the NBA goes around the world to get players to come
But they
play in
only
the NBA.
play in the
They are
United
the
States.
best players in the world.
issue.
But they only play in the United
Okay,
States.
it's all semantics.
So how can you be the world champion if you don't play?
Well, they
the
shouldn't
world?
call themselves the world champions.
They should.
Should be the NBA champions.
That's what I'm saying.
Because they're not the world champions. Even though they're the best players in the world, it's not a world event in the sense that the FIBA World Championships are. Because every country in the world has the opportunity to put a team in there,
right,
and they play it on the world level,
right.
like they do the World Cup and everything.
And I agree with my man from Germany.
The best players
I agree with
in the NBA of America now. I think the best player last year was Joker. I don't think he's from America.
No,
but that's
that
what
boy
I said.
busted everybody.
Are playing in the NBA.
In the NBA.
I didn't necessarily say it was American.
Okay,
right.
My bad.
Right. Yeah, because it's been a long time
my bad.
Changing the game of basketball. Look at this. When I started covering the NBA All-Star games and all this stuff, years ago, let's say 30-something years ago, I was fortunate enough to meet a guy named John McLendon, who is the Superman of black basketball. He was the coach at North Carolina Central, and then he took Tennessee State with Dick Barnett and all them, and they won 3 NIA championships in a row. Mm-hmm. The NIA was bigger than the NCAA then. This was like early 50s.
Okay.
69, 50, around there.
Right.
John McLendon won all the time. When they let the brothers in, the first time they let in the black colleges, they won 3 in a row. Then they shift the focus to the NCAAs and went away from the NIA. Of course they do. They always do that stuff. It's pretty amazing. You study history. All the things they do.
See, this is why we have Stein on here as our sports analyst. And I guess we're off Coco right now. We have to get back to Coco another time. We'll get back to her another time. But congrats, Coco.
Yeah. I understand what he's saying.
Go ahead.
Finish your thought.
I forgot what it was.
Oh, my God. Cut him off. Cut him off. Got him.
He hit me. He got me on mid-screen.
My bad, bro.
Okay.
McClendon.
Yeah, Big John.
NIA.
Yeah, NIA. They won the championships. But the point I was making about McLendon and them guys was that John, he was the first one to go internationally and tape and do camps. A black man, John McLendon, the coach at Tennessee State. He also was hired by Converse. So that's what did it for him. So it was the first. Converse was the biggest shoe company in the world back then.
Right.
So McLendon, he was the first black coach to coach a major college, which was Cleveland State. Mm-hmm. He was the first black coach to coach a professional team, which was the Cleveland Pipers, owned by George Steinbrenner.
Okay.
By the way. back then, right before the ABA. well, this is history of John McLendon.
Right.
But he had told me, Don King brought him to Vegas for me to interview him, and they was bringing men to me like that, and I was like, who is this guy? I thought Will Robinson of Persian was the first black coach to do everything, and I was talking so much stuff. They got me, no, son, we gonna educate you, and then months later they brought him there, and here he comes, and I was like, wow.
Right.
But he because of Converse, he was going internationally to help with the branding. They was doing camps under Converse's banner.
Well,
and he was doing them all around the United States. Only one doing it back then. There wasn't no Nike.
right. Wasn't no Nike. That's what I was about to say.
It was a brother
Right.
doing all that. Coach John McLendon, Hall of Famer.
Right.
But by the way, in case y'all didn't know that, but Coach McLendon, he told me, he said, one day basketball gonna be bigger than any sport. Now at the time he was talking, this was 30 years ago, basketball international sales was zero.
Yeah, it was suffering.
Basketball didn't have an international market. And look at it now.
Yeah.
I did a story on that. The basketball sales, basketball probably make more money than any other professional sport in international sales. Mm-hmm. It's the biggest sport in China.
Bigger than baseball?
It's the biggest sport in China. You're talking about Japan.
Japan, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But you know, but
that's what happens when you have ESPN.
Ladies and gentlemen,
shut up, Jeff.
He is ESPN-less.
This is the only person in America, brother, living on a golf course, Detroit golf course, can't afford ESPN.
A major tournament, a qualifying golf tournament.
No, he can't afford it.
It's played in his backyard. A qualifying golf tournament is played in his backyard.
Okay, folks, what would you rather have, a nice house or ESPN? Y'all can kiss my...
Nice house.
Thank you.
Both.
Both. I could get ESPN, you know.
No, he can't, fella.
On his phone.
We got to give it to him right now. We got it. We can't let it get out of this.
I used to have it. Going back to
basketball actually has become the world sport.
Absolutely.
Right, competing with soccer.
And you know what is interesting?
So soccer is but again, there's a lot of reasons why, too. Because it's the easiest one to set up. When we went to China, man, they have basketball courts everywhere. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because you need is a rim and a court and a little space.
That's it.
You don't need a football team and a baseball team.
You don't need goals.
All you need, if you live on a farm, all you need is a
peach basket.
A peach basket.
And a pole.
A nail and a wooden backboard.
Don't even need the backboard.
Just
learn how to shoot straight net.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm sorry.
That's it.
Will you quit? I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna punch you in here in a minute.
Once you punch me, I won't do it again. I might punch him back. Oh my God, we been fighting.
I'm too old to fight, Leland. I can't take it or give it anymore. You safe, brother. I might throw a punch and pull my whole
but it's
blow out my
been
shoulder.
A magnificent journey of basketball.
Yes.
And to really watch it and be around some of the people that's seen it. Because coming in with Magic and coaching at his camps with him for 10 years.
Interesting.
And watching how basketball stepped out of that era, with the ABA, NBA era, and they was trying to find themselves.
Yeah.
And Magic and Bird. Well, actually,
know what?
It took race to do it.
But you know what?
It was a black and white thing, even though they didn't want it to be.
Let me interject something right on your
Bird
Go ahead.
to do it.
Yeah.
Because white America got behind him.
Yes.
And black America was behind Magic. And so it was Boston. And then we began to hate Boston because of Bird. Most of our generation did.
I still hate Boston because of Bird.
And it's really sad.
But Bird is a bad mofo. Bird was a bad.
And guess what shoes he was wearing?
Converse. Him and Magic had the Converse.
But guess what Magic said about that issue? About that. Magic said it that he made the biggest mistake of his life.
Not signing with Nike?
Not signing with Nike.
Yeah.
And he
but
said,
Nike was nobody at that point.
Well,
no mistake.
I'm just saying what came out. He
made more money than any other basketball player. Wait, stop.
No, you stop.
At that
I heard
time,
him say it come out his mouth.
But I'm talking about at that time when he signed with Converse.
He told me
it was more money than anybody else had.
In this corner, Leland Stein. In the blue corner, Jeffrey Love. We're about to go to blows, ladies and gentlemen, when the bell rings.
It's
Fighters
the
go to your respective
it's the
corners. Come on, touch
UFC.
hands.
United.
But back then, Nike was just getting started, and
Right.
they tried to get Magic, but he didn't want to go with
But
it.
Converse was the team. That's
Yeah,
cool.
but guess what though?
You can't blame it.
Nike
I'm not mad at
offered
it.
him stock that would have took him over.
Everybody that's offered
He was
stock.
5 years old. What do you know
ain't
about
kidding.
stock back then? He was looking for cash, man.
Hey, but that's what he said his mistake was.
What's
yeah, I
The
agree.
stock-
what's the
he
man's
said if
name
you
that got 3 kids playing in the NBA? Well, 2 of them.
Oh, you talking
Curry?
about- not Curry. Big mouth guy.
What's the boy's name? His boys. His boys are bad too, man.
Who was it?
Oh.
What's the kids, man? Like,
Alonzo
Ball.
Alonzo Ball.
Yeah, Ball.
But you could have said the same thing about Nike was like Ball. I got some shoes. Give me some stock.
Yeah. You see where his shoes went.
Yeah.
I'm
But it wasn't
talking.
totally his fault.
I am
They
talking
dogged
about.
him out.
I'm talking about in the infancy stages of.
Well,
of,
but it's
of
still the same
shoe
situation.
game.
We're just making
The
a
infancy
point.
stages of the shoe game.
But nobody
before
knew.
the shoe game got to where it is now. This is what
Okay,
Magic
why did the
was
But
shoe
talking.
he
game
didn't
get-
know back then, man.
He didn't know. He didn't know.
How would you know?
But
Would you
but they
take a-
invested. If you recall, they invested in Michael Jordan. Remember, this was during that era.
But
No,
Nike
it
was desperate.
afterwards.
No, it was before.
Adidas had all the soccer, the international
Yes,
sports.
that's right.
Converse had all the basketball.
Nike was just coming up.
Converse had all the basketball.
Okay, Nike was coming up.
Yeah, they weren't nobody at the time.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So you can't blame me for going
No, you can't,
with the
no.
established.
And Nike came in and
But see,
dominated
Nike,
with Jordan.
But see, but it's easy to say Nike dominated.
Yes.
Nike's
Yeah.
domination is a conglomeration of a lot of events that were happening. First of all, commercialization of sports.
Yes.
ESPN
Yes.
coming up. International cable was starting to evolve.
not disagreeing at all.
So that he just happened to be the right person
So he caught
at the right
they
time.
caught
At the
the
right
ride.
time. That's
They
all
caught
I'm
the
saying.
tide.
That's all I'm
what life
saying.
is all about anyway.
That is all I'm
right.
So
saying.
Magic, he come 4 years later, he just been that guy.
And that's just like and getting back to Coco. Coco is with New Balance. And getting back to her branding.
We are not plugging these brands.
We're not plugging them. No, we're not plugging them. The only brand that we're plugging is Uncle Nearest.
You're alcoholic.
Right. The alcohol brand of history.
Well, you finished saying
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm really listening over here.
Oh,
You got me
no,
listening
but I'm
for
saying,
Jay.
but I'm saying with the branding of Coco Golf and New Balance and everything that materialized through this young African American tennis player who is on the rise, who wins the U.S. Open, who the story that she's portraying, all the young girls. Remember, they showed a clip of Coco when she was a very young girl. I think she might have been maybe 12 years old at the U.S. Open, and she was cheering in the stands, and playing at the time was Venus or Serena. One of them was playing, but she was at the tournament, and she was cheering them on, and it was a beautiful thing to watch. But and the connection I'm trying to make with the branding, New Balance is pretty much doing the same thing, but with Coco Golf, and you'll see.
Whoa. New Balance been around a long time.
I know,
It's
but they've
running
been a
shoe.
running shoe,
Yeah.
not a tennis, not a.
Well,
not
no, they ain't been tennis.
It's
but-
still, but they haven't promoted their brand as much to the African
but New Balance
American
is on
market.
the up right now.
Well, that's
Yeah.
true.
There's something been
Uh-huh.
happening with New Balance, period, in the last year or two. They
Look.
found a rebirth in their sales.
But look, but
kinda
and
went
now
up
and look who's wearing this
tremendously.
shoe in basketball now. What's my man from LA from the Clippers?
Who's wearing the New Balance basketball shoe?
The guy who won the championship at Toronto.
Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard. He's New Balance now.
He's
New
the only
Balance
one
got a
that's the
basketball
truth.
shoe?
Yeah,
Yes.
they got a basketball shoe.
Yes.
You know what?
Now,
I need to get
hey,
ESPN.
and also on
But New Balance has a good walking shoe.
yeah.
a good running
shoe.
shoe. They always been in the running
Yeah,
market.
but they got. There's another market that came about that Under Armour has knocked into is the walking sports shoe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, you ain't got to run or you kind of walk in it, but
A
you got
leisure shoe.
Yeah, but it's kind of, you know, it looks kind of sweet.
But
I
think
see
about
what you're saying,
but
Jeff,
think
talking
about it.
New Balance is finally crossing over to the black.
And then at the tennis tournament, you got Kevin Durant, and they're showing all these NBA stars supporting Coco Gauff, cheering for Coco Gauff, and encouraging her
can you not
to
cheer
win.
for her?
I know you got to cheer
She's
for
like
her.
awesome.
But look, that's a direct link
Hey guys,
to the brand.
yeah.
So you thinking with them in the
enough for New
audience.
Balance, because we've been talking about them too long. But in case you haven't seen Coco, she's got a video out. And I've been covering sports for 40 years. I'm telling y'all, champions, I've never seen a champion take their old video right during the festivities. But Coco actually did that.
Doing the championship celebration.
Yes! Stop there, everybody. Forget y'all.
We're in a different time,
a
brother.
minute to myself.
It's a different time,
She
brother.
put her
You know
own
that?
video.
It's
She
TikTok
made her
TikTok
own
generation.
video of the U.S. Open court. When she
Yeah.
did a little dance and did her thing, and it was her and in her phone. She did it on her own phone, not nobody else.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I kind of like. She said, "I'm creating a memory for myself.
That's
I'm
the
making
same
my
thing
own
we're doing.
memory.
Hey, what's up, Leon?
I'm documenting
Hey.
my own history.
Leon Merritt.
I ain't gonna wait for
said,
nobody to
"What's up?"
send this to me.
Leon Merritt. He
Okay,
said,
but let me
"What's up?"
finish.
Go
She
ahead.
documented her history the way she wanted documented for her at that moment. Her dance, her style, whatever she was feeling, she wanted to remember her way. And the only way she was gonna have that ever done is what she did.
Right.
And you know,
Put that phone down there and do it.
I got my cuz watching. Avis
It's
is
fascinating.
watching.
I've never seen it
All
before.
right.
But that's a good point because, you know, like we were talking off air, how they were getting on her and Tony Dungy because she was praying.
Right, right.
And they were talking about she was sitting down there and she was expressing relief, you know, for winning. And Tony came out and said no, she was praying. And then there was kind of a backlash about her praying, which to me is crazy.
Yeah, but
There's
America
nothing wrong
is
with you know, Christianity or religion
No.
and sports. If you believe, you just believe.
you just believe.
And
I believe
you can praise anywhere at any time.
anytime.
Right.
And why should it even bother you? If you don't believe, then what?
Yeah. What
Who
difference
cares?
does it make?
Yeah.
How's it bothering you
It
if I
don't
get on
bother
my
me
knees
2
and pray
seconds.
right now?
Don't bother me at all.
You know, so a lot of people getting bent out of shape
What's-
because this little girl expresses her belief in her religion.
Well,
and
now,
it's
see, now
taken
we
down.
done left sports because
Yeah.
that is the biggest issue
I
and the
know.
dilemma for the whole world to solve is why can't we just let other people just be themselves?
Yeah.
Whether it's sexual freedom or religious freedom, ideology. You don't have to hate somebody because they think differently than
Yeah,
you.
and that was one of the big
Just
problems.
doesn't make sense.
That was one of the problems they had with Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't a great quarterback,
Right.
but the fact that he expressed his religion and his belief, you know.
Dungy always has.
Yeah, Dungy.
Yeah,
is too.
Dungy was a spokesman for that.
Yeah, he was.
Yes.
They used to have the athletes in action. It was the AU team, and Dungy was always part of that. But no, look,
That's a whole nother topic.
It is.
Man. We will get on that and burn down the house. You know, a couple things I hate talking about is politics and religion because it's going to always be an issue.
it is because
You know?
there's no fixing it.
It isn't. It isn't. Either you believe or you don't. Either you follow this guy, you don't.
Right, exactly.
You know, it's like
Or
Trump
either you
and-
respect other people's religions or you don't.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Either I'm going to put on a jihad, run into some buildings, and knock buildings down.
Well, now they all
because
don't do
somebody
that.
don't.
Wait a minute, Stein. Hold on now. Wait a minute.
They ain't all doing that.
No, first of all, I know everybody don't do
That's Leland Stein.
that. First of
Don't
all,
sell him out.
some of my
I'm not
best
selling
friends
him
are
out. I'm
Muslim,
not.
so I ain't
And
talking
that's
about,
Keith
It had nothing to do
Butler.
with Muslim. It had to do with idolatry
Yeah.
more than religion. That's different.
Yeah.
And-
But
and-
the problem with that is,
okay, when you
as soon as you say it, people are going to start thinking.
Well, no.
All
I'm just talking about
That's all
those
I'm
of
saying.
us that take it to idolatry, where you go beyond the symbology and the meaning, and you just go, well, I'm going to die for this, and I'm going to kill anybody that thinks differently than me. That's a whole other ball game.
Right. But my point with what I just said was I agree with you. It's just the problem is that a lot of people aren't so open-minded. The first thing they think about is when you say jihad, all Muslims. And, you know, we have a habit of grouping people.
Well, that is true.
And so that's why I say be careful with
It ain't no. It's just the facts.
We
But
are
no,
being
I love everybody.
investigated by the United States government.
I love everybody.
Ari, well, it is time. It's about 29 minutes into the show, and we have switched from cocoa to football to basketball to religion.
Our video just
Broad
got
up
cut
building.
off, guys.
The only reason why I thought it because I've been looking at 9/11 stuff all week.
Yeah.
So it was fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
So it was not.
Well, we haven't talked
First
about D.I.
of all,
Savage
look,
yet.
I taught school here in Michigan. So come on, half my students have been of all religions.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, come on, I know
Well,
that
But
now.
I'm just saying. You know, I'm not pointing the finger
Yeah,
at you.
yeah.
I'm just saying how we think as a race.
Well, that is
as
true
a
because people tend to put everybody. And you see
In
one
one
brother
bucket.
do something stupid. See, like all the brothers just
right.
dumb. They messing up all the time.
Right.
And you can't
Not
help.
the case. Not the case.
Well, but you can't help some of our white brothers and sisters who feel that way because they don't have no interactions with black people at all in many
that's not our-
places
that's
in
not our
America.
fault.
So they're gonna believe the images and the thoughts they say.
Well, that's not our
That
fault.
they
It's gonna-
portray
it's gonna-
themselves.
yeah,
That
but-
they
yeah,
create.
but right.
But some
What
that
they
create
create.
themselves.
Right. They
Ain't no
create
doubt
it.
about that now.
Yeah. Okay, y'all, we up against it, and we're gonna have to call it a show.
Yeah.
It was another good one. I'd like to thank my co-host Jeffrey Lowe.
Thank
and our
you.
Sports
Thank you.
analyst Leland Stein.
and
we
you
want
know
to
what?
thank you all for listening.
Yes.
Jeff, we cutting off. Don't make another announcement.
I'm taking receipts.
Okay.
Can I do my sexy voice one more time?
Do your
Go ahead.
sexy
Do your
voice.
sexy.
Goodbye, everybody.
That's Leland Stein trying to be sexy.
Trying to be very white.
Remember, subscribe to us and help support us. And we'd like to thank you all for joining us on another episode of The Hook. I'm saying out.
The hook.
We'll talk to you guys later.